Ready?
Mm-hmm.
Aloha, I'm Tashi Delay from Kauai Tibetan Buddhist Dharma Center here on the island of Kauai. We present this class every Thursday night, 6 to 8 o'clock, and it is recorded and put on our website, kauaidharma.org. I'm Lama Tashi, and tonight's class is going to be on what is called the Nungjo. The Nungjo is the text that is used in the tradition of Tibetan shamanistic Lamaism to support all of the sutra and tantric deity practices that all the lamas teach. All the men and women who are teachers use this practice of what is called the four ordinary preliminary practices and the four extraordinary practices. And when we do these in retreat, each section is done separately over a period of weeks, months, or years, depending on the time of the retreat. But the basis of all of the sutra and tantra is this Nungjo. It's spelled Ngon, second word DRO, which is called the foundation practice of Tantra. Before we start with the class, I'd like to read a mantra that deals with the spirit energy, which is a big aspect of the cause of virus, which the main one we're dealing with now is COVID-19, but I'm told by virologists that there are 71 million viruses circling the planet at any one time, and I'm pretty sure most all of them have come to Hawaii at one time or another. But I'm going to say a mantra that deals with that directly. And for those of you who do the Vajrasattva Mantra, that's very powerful in pacifying the transmission of these various diseases. This one goes, first of all, using the Tibetan alphabet, which is actually a form of purifying outer negative aspects. And that goes like this. Om a e e u ri ri li li a o om ka 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 gana shasasazana tratata jana tatata dana papa papama yara la wa sha kasa ha ksha ma so ha. Then this 100-syllable mantra is Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manopalaya, Vajrasattva Denopa, Tikta Jito Mebawa, Sutokayo Mebawa, Supokayo Mebawa, Anarakta Mebawa, Sarva Siddhi Mantrayatsa, Sarva Karma Sutsame, Sitsam Shriyam Kuru Hum, Ho Bhagawan, Sarva Tata Gata, Vajramame Musa, Vajrabawa, Mahasamaya Sattva Ah. So the first mantra deals with the physical aspects. The 100-syllable mantra deals with the transmission of the Dharma from the teachers and the Sangha. That's called the voice transmission. This third one is the mind transmission, which purifies negativities and harmful tendencies on all levels of existence. And this one goes like this. Om Ye Dharma, He True Dawa, He True Tentaken, Tadya Gatayo, Haya, One Hata, Taken Sayo, Nira Da Iwam, Wandi Maha Shamana Soha. So these three, I'm saying tonight for any problems that might be arising, as everything is interconnected. There is no such thing as separation. It appears that way because of the method that we're using, for instance, this Zoom transmission. But actually everything presented is directly perceived and all of the transmission is received just as it is given. I'm going to read from Lama Rinpoche's text a little bit before we take refuge. The story of all of us simply said, and we have, this is the third printing of this, so we put out over 2,000 and now we have another 1,000. And they're also available on Amazon. It's called The Story of All of Us Simply Said by Lama Rinpoche. I'm reading a simple part that explains the relative and ultimate natures of mind very simply, very directly. These two natures, the relative everybody has. That's called the drama mind, or we say the mind that judges everything, judgmental mind. Then the ultimate mind is the other nature of our consciousness, which is our true nature, and that one has to be learned. And it has to be learned in a way that the guidance of the Lama is part of the transmissions for not only knowledge and understanding, but also how to use it. And this is Lama Rinpoche's short take on how to explain these two natures. He says, yes, we all have the relative and ultimate nature of mind as the innate nature of the one nature of consciousness, which we all share. We cannot understand too clearly right now because we're looking at everything with our relative mind, which is called the judgmental or drama mind. So when we look at this relative world, there's a big problem with understanding what is meant by I, you, and me, but we are not sure what is beyond those meanings of I, you, and me. When thoughts are in the relative world, everything that we learn, experience, and attach to with our consciousness is the only thing that we understand, and that is a limited situation. The mind is perceived in the same way as you look at your image in a mirror. And when you see the image in the mirror, you're actually seeing an image of the ultimate explanation or aspect of your natural mind. Because yes, it appears, but you can't take it out of the mirror. You can't connect to it other than through your sight. And so to think that you are that image in the mirror is called the illusory nature of your consciousness. And then to take what you see in the mirror and apply it to your actual, what we call the I, me, mind consciousness, the relative one, increases the illusion, or actually we use the word delusion or ignorance. So that is the two natures of your consciousness, as this explanation of like a reflection in a mirror. Another one is to say like water appearing on a desert. So here you have this mirage and it doesn't exist. So the ultimate nature of mind would know that, but the relative nature does not. It says that's water, but when it gets closer, it discovers it's just an illusion. Then it has an experience. These experiences that we have are what can cause us to understand our true or ultimate nature. And then from these experiences, which arise from our practice of the Dharma, we have what is called realization. That's called enlightenment. The realization of how things really are and how to use that information integrated into your lifestyle, your situation, just as it is the total purpose of the Dharma. That said, we take refuge. In taking refuge, a lot of you have this refuge sheet, and the refuge is broken into three categories. The first one is the altruistic motivation of why we are practicing the Dharma and what we are doing with it. And this altruistic motivation is the theme of Dharma, and it is unique in Tibetan Buddhism. And it is unique in the lineage which evolves from Shakyamuni Buddha down through India to Tibet, and now to the whole planet. So I'm going to read this altruistic motivation, and for you that have this text, you can read with me. In order to attain enlightenment for ourselves and limitless sentient beings, our mothers, we now, all together, take refuge and, when possible, offer prostration. So that prayer is chanted in Tibetan because the transmission of Tibetan Buddhism is done to the Indian Pali or Sanskrit language to all the cultures of the planet, all the different types of people. So we also transmit it to the spirit world. And so I'm going to chant it so that the spirits connect to us through this prayer. Dag dang jova nam ke ta dang yam pe sem chem tam che du di ne jung te ji si jeng chu ning po la chi pi bardu. Then we take refuge. I'm going to chant that in Tibetan and we'll say it in English. Palden Lama Dampa Nam La Chab Su Chio Yedam Chokor Gilatso Nam La Chab Su Chio Sanjay Jom Dende Nam La Chab Su Chio Dampe Chur Nam La Chab Su Chio Pave Gendu Nam La Chab Su Chio Pavo Kandro Chokyung Sume Sho Vyeshe Ki Shendang Dempa Nam La Chab Su Chio. And we'll say that in English. We go for refuge to all glorious holy lamas. We go for refuge to all the idams, the deities gathered in our mandalas. We go for refuge to all the Buddhas, those who have conquered the mind and moved beyond. We take refuge in all this supreme Dharma. We take refuge in all the noble Sangha. And we take refuge in all the Dakas and Dakinis, who are the protectors and defenders of the Dharma. All of these possess the mind of transcending awareness. Then the third part of the refuge is the Bodhisattva training prayer, called the Six Perfections prayer. And I'll chant it in Tibetan and we'll say it in English. Sanjay Chodam Choki Chodam La Jeng Chu Mardu Dagni Chab Su Chi Dagi Jin So Ji Pe So Nam Ki Chola Benjer Sanjay Drupar Sho. To the Buddha, Dharma, and this Supreme Assembly, we go for refuge until enlightenment. May I, through merit gained from practicing the 6 Bodhisattva Disciplines, called the 6 Perfections, accomplish Buddhahood for the sake of all sentient beings. So these 3, we say at the start of practice, a practice session. There may be one session a day, say the morning session, or whatever one session you do. There may be 2, 3. In retreat, we have 6 sessions a day. But it sets the state of your mind. With the altruistic motivation, you're doing this for the benefit of all sentient beings who are connected to you. They're your life support. They have been in past lives, they are this life, and they will be in the future. So that's altruistic motivation is the theme of all the practice. And it gives you some understanding of why the ultimate purpose of the practice is for them. Understanding that there's no such thing as separation, that creates what we call a Buddha field. When you actually realize there's no such thing as separation, that's called enlightenment. In the second part, the 6 refuges are the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, which all Buddhists take refuge in that. But in shamanistic Lamaism, we take refuge in the Llama and the symbols the Lamas use called the peaceful and protector Dakini symbol. And these we actualize in our practice and integrate into our lifestyle. And that's the support of your practice. Then the actual practice is the 6 Bodhisattva Disciplines. Generosity, morality, which includes ethics and good manners, patience, which is the antidote to many afflictions, the main one being the worst of all afflictions, anger, and diligence or perseverance in the practice. Of these 3, plus meditation yoga practice, and directly connecting to the ultimate nature of your mind through these practices and through states of meditation, contemplation, and different yoga techniques or methods. So those are called the 6 actions of your body, speech, and mind performing Dharma practice, whatever method you are using. Tonight we're going to do a sutra. And we're going to apply this sutra not only with the methodology of the practice and their purpose, but also with the tantric motivation that this supports all of the sutra practices that one is doing and all of the tantric practices that are given to you through the oral transmission of a Lama. The difference between the sutra and tantra is the sutra is the actual teachings of the Buddha that connect you to the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana transmission, which is given unbroken from the Buddha Shakyamuni down through all the lineages to the present day to us. Then through the practice of the Hinayana, Mahayana, and Vajrayana methods, you move your mind to a more intelligent, direct practice, which is called Tantra. And when you do that, then the sutra evolves into what is called the Sambhogakaya practices of deity yoga, which means the bliss energy practices which pervade your body, speech, and mind that you integrate into your lifestyle, your stream of being. And then this oral transmission of these deity yogas called the Sambhogakaya, Kaya means vehicle, Sambhoga means bliss energy, come from the Lama. So that the Nirmanakaya, the teacher, and the transmission of the body, speech, and mind of the teacher is given directly to you tantrically, through transmission, through empowerment. Wong is called in Tibetan. Then those 2 come from the Dharmakaya nature of your natural, ultimate, innate Buddha nature. And that's the Dharmakaya of the all-pervasive nature of your mind. And when your mind is all-pervasive, that means it's omniscient, it's infinite. It has infinite potential. And that is Buddha. That's what we call, simply put, it simply means that in the human condition, you become a mature human being, man or woman. And all the practices presented equally. But since all of this has different tendencies, carried forth like a shadow from past life to this life, called karmic tendencies, we need to have the assistance of the teacher or guide or guru we call Llama. And this term Llama has two words. La means honorable. Ma, mother. So like your own mother that created you, the Llama is helping you to recreate your situation so that you start to have experiences, realizations, and gain a state of lasting happiness. And that's it. That is a very good explanation of the term Buddhahood or enlightenment. And easier to understand. So now we're going to start with the Ngon text, and the first part of this is simply to take refuge with your Llama upon awakening. And the prayer that is in the text says, I pray to my Llama, my precious and completely worthy worldly spiritual friend. I pray that outstanding loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight will penetrate my stream of being now today. And then the next part of this prayer is I pray to the Llama who sits on a lotus sun and moon seat on the top of my head. I pray that you bless me with the realization of all of the Buddhas of past, present, and future into my stream of being now today. So that's the opening situation, is to connect to your teacher. Now, in Tibetan Buddhism, the root Lama is the one that gives you the direct transmission that helps you to realize that you are now a Bodhisattva and that you are already a Buddha, and the Bodhisattva training takes you quickly to the realization of that. That's called the root Lama. My root Lama is called a Rinpoche, and the first thing he taught me first day in retreat was the Ngon. But he only gave out 2 direct teachings of Ngon, but he based them on what are called the 4 ordinary practices. Now, these 4 ordinary practices are simply to encourage you to practice Dharma. And the first of these is that you tell yourself every day, I have an extremely beneficial situation. I have connection to the Dharma and the teachings, and I should use that skillfully starting right now today. So that's the first ordinary preliminary practice, just that much. The second one is everything is impermanent. I don't know which comes first, the next breath or my next life. Because of that, I should practice Dharma now, today. Number 3 is karma. Karma is the tendencies that come from past life activity of your body, speech, and mind to this life. And they follow you like a shadow. And they're subliminal. You don't know a past life. You don't remember all what you did. But you know from how you are this life with introspection what tendencies you have. You discover these. And these tendencies can cause you harmful or healthy results. So for everybody, we're equal, but with these tendencies, we're all different. So I should practice the Dharma to weed out the negative tendencies of my karmic situation and develop the positive ones. That's number 3. Number 4, we're in a situation of judgmental mind. It's called the relative nature. And this relative nature is innate, has these undesirable aspects, which are simply, we're aging, going to get sick and die. Die doesn't mean lose consciousness, leave the mind. It means leave the body. Mind, no beginning, middle, or end. But you're going to leave your body, and you want to prepare for that. At the same time, you know that everything is constantly changing. You know this. You can see it in your mind, you can see it in your daily activity. Day to day, month to month, year to year, and so forth. This affects your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual situation drastically. So this is why you practice Dharma. So those 4, you have a precious human body, you should use it now. Everything is impermanent, you should practice now. You have these tendencies, which negative ones mean to be transformed or deleted, positive ones need to be adopted and used. Aging, sickness, and death is the nature of conditioned existence, which is unfavorable. And everything's constantly changing, causing your physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual condition to be either useful or a hindrance. So you keep that in mind as the basis of your incentive to practice the Dharma. In the text, it's more wordy than that. But Kala Rinpoche didn't give us this wordy Nungjo text. He just gave us a sheet with the 3 refuges, the altruistic motivation, and the 6 Bodhisattva disciplines. Then he went directly to the first extraordinary practice. And when we do this practice, it's a lineage transmission of the refuge tree, which I show here in front of me, which is on our website. And this refuge tree in the Karmakagyu lineage, of which there are 12 different lineages, the tree has many branches. And in those branches are the various lineages of lamas of our tradition. And around the tree in the sky are the dakinis. This is the physical energy of earth, water, fire, air, and space of the elemental world around us that's constantly interconnecting with our physical body. Then on the left side of the tree are all the Bodhisattva disciplines. The main one, Chenrezig, which is shown on the Tonka above the shrine and with the 1,000-armed Chenrezig statue. But the Bodhisattva practices are the basis of the peaceful deity yoga. Then around the base of the tree are the wrathful deities that evolve from these peaceful deities to liberate spirits or to repel the harmful tendencies of spirits, which I mentioned tonight starting the class. We have these 71 million viruses circling the planet, which are directed by the spirits. But the spirits also control the elemental nature of the earth, the water, the fire, the air, and the weather of the world around us. So we need more help with dealing with that, so that's part of our refuge. Then all the Buddhas are on the other side of a branch of the tree. These are all the human beings who became mature, what we call enlightened. So those are our 6 refuges. And in the middle is your root Llama, called Vajradhara, which means the ultimate nature of mind in harmony with the total universe and all the beings in it. Kunto Zangpo in Tibetan. And when we think of the root Mama, that means fully mature, omniscient, omnipresent, omnipotent. Well, those are characteristics that in religious traditions they give to gods and goddesses. But we don't do that. We're not a religion. So our main support is our teacher, our guru, and it represents outside what's already inside. That said, I put a kata around here. Kata is an offering scarf for good fortune. And so now we're going to do the first extraordinary practice. Now the way Kala Rinpoche demonstrated with this is he took off his Zen, laid it on the floor, and did full prostrations to us, the 60 people that were in this retreat on the North Shore of Maui in a big barn. And I'm going to show you the prostration. Abby's going to aim the computer. Yeah, just aim it. I'm going to put the refuge tree in front. Can you see me? Turn it towards me. Can you see me? I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, and Sangha, Lama, deities, and protectors for the benefit of all sentient beings. I take refuge. Now all I did was take my hands and put them above my head, palms together. Then I touch my forehead, chin, chest. Then I just slide down on the floor in the direction of the shrine or Llama or whatever you're using as a symbol, and extend your arms straight out in front and touch your forehead to the floor. Then you stand back up and repeat the gesture of gathering all the energy of space, bringing it into your body, speech, and mind, and you end up back in your heart chakra. Now these 3 points of your body are your body control program, your speech, which comes from the body, from your breath, and your mind, which is developed as the heart chakra in Tibetan Buddhism. Mind is the place of the idea of total realization, ultimate enlightenment, Buddhahood, in this position. So I take refuge in the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, deity, and protector, and go for refuge with myself and all sentient beings to gain enlightenment. Now, turn it back towards me. When Kala Rinpoche did this, he did it many times, and he was over 70 years of age at that time. And he picked up his Zen and he shook the dust out of it, put it back on and sat down and cool. Then he told us to do the same practice to him. And of course, none of us had ever done this before. And so we all got down on this rough floor of this barn and we kind of walked our hands out and laid down in the dust and touched our heads, and then we all stood back up and tried to mimic this body, speech, and mind. But what does this do? This is not just a physical yoga meditation. You know, most yoga taught in the Hinayana tradition, we call Hindu, is physical, not much mental. Not not much imagination. Here you are imagining yourself and all sentient beings in the universe doing this together. That fulfills the prayer of the altruistic motivation and the refuge prayer at the same time. So the altruistic motivation and the refuge prayer are being fulfilled, and you actually can say the refuge prayer while you're doing prostrations. If you do that and visualize the refuge tree in front, now your mind is single-pointedly focusing on that. Your speech is saying the refuge prayer, Palden Lama Dampa Nam Lab Japchu Chio Yedam Chirko Hila Sotan Sanje Shodan Dedam Lapchu Dampe Shodan Lapchu Kape Gendu Ma Japchu Chio Pawo Kadru Chukmi Soge Shikisha Dardipa Nam Japchu Chio. Or saying, I go for refuge to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, deity, and protectors in order to bring myself and all sentient beings to realize our true nature, Buddhahood. Either way, body, speech, and mind are functioning together. That's the whole purpose of Sutra Tantric practice, is to get that union of those three together for the purpose of enlightenment for oneself and everybody else. And be in harmony with the natural world around you is the effect. That is the first of the four extraordinary practices of Tibetan Buddhism. At the end of the practice session, maybe you only did one, maybe you did 3, maybe you did 7, or like Kala Rinpoche told us, do 100, or use a mala and do 108, and put the mala out in front of you with the nail on it, and each time you do a prostration, you move the nail 1 bead until you've gone all the way around the mala 108 times, doing this full layout prostration. I can tell you that the first one you do is very helpful, acquiring a healthy human body for the rest of your life. The more you do, the healthier everything gets. That's the way it works. And I'm 82, and I've been doing this since I was 37. And I got to the point where one day my partner Jaldi and she and I were doing this Nungdo practice together. We started to do the prostrations in the morning and found ourselves still doing prostrations in the afternoon. And when we got all through and totaled the count, it was 3,000 prostrations in one day. I don't recommend that. But somehow, some way, we got carried away. So I'm just giving you a little side view. How important is prostration? When you do deity yoga, your body is an energy program. And the stronger and more powerful your body, the stronger and more powerful your speech becomes with these practices, and the stronger your mind is capable of connecting to the true nature, that everything is an illusion. Like an image in a mirror, like a mirage in a desert, like the reflection of the moon on water. And more you can start to penetrate the illusion and the time element. This is called temporal existence. And time causes stress. And when you start to notice that everything is timeless, more and more, through this extraordinary practice, through these 4 extraordinary practices, and start to do the deity yogas of Chenrei, Si, and Tara, and the other 100 deities of this tradition, this time loses its grasp on you. Yeah, you have morning, evening, afternoon. Yeah, you have to eat breakfast, lunch, dinner. Yeah, you have to go to bed a certain time and sleep. But it's not stressful. It's natural. And you become more and more natural, more and more in tune with your own temporary needs and how to modify them and make them suitable for you and everybody you have relationships with. And the environmental world around you. Okay, so now I'm going to read the end of the I'd like to stress that first one again, that we have a beneficial situation. This is how it reads in the text. Upon arising and taking refuge with your Llama in your heart and on your head, then you say, now my life is fruitful. I have obtained a most excellent human existence. Today I am born into the lineage of the Buddhas and become a son or daughter of a Buddha. From now on, in all possible ways, I will make all my actions conform to this family, so that this faultless noble lineage will not be defiled. And in the presence of all these refuges, I will invite all beings to come to happiness until they obtain the bliss of Buddhahood. And this includes all the gods, jealous gods, we call hungry ghosts, demon gods, all the animals, and all the humans in the entire universe. So that is how it's stated in the text. But however you can say it or think about it, accept the fact that you're in. You know? Now you're in. Now you're going in. Because everything outside is an illusion. So the only way to discover your true nature is inside. And that's Dharma practice. At the end of the section, you say, may I and all beings never have any pain or suffering or the cause of this pain and suffering. May all these sentient beings never be without the supreme bliss which is free from all sentient beings. May all these sentient beings always have pure happiness and the cause of this happiness. May all beings live in the great equanimity which is free of attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, and ignorance. Free of judgmental mind. Free of harmful drama tendencies. So that the first extraordinary practice that turns the mind to Dharma. Now what do you do with that at the end of the practice session? You take all the sentient beings in the universe that you've been practicing with, doing prostrations with, saying these prayers with, as your family, and bring them all into you. And in this state of unity, disappear. And I mean, relax. And how do you do this? Is you simply connect to the present moment. Bring your consciousness away from all past stuff and all future stuff which hasn't happened yet, and even the present activities of the day, and simply sit in a state of present awareness, moment to moment. Do not block your thoughts. Do not block your sensual tendencies. Allow them to rise as the activity of the result of what you have just did with this first extraordinary practice. And know that everything comes out of space presents itself as an aspect of space and disappears back into space. Sensually and mentally. Be present. Be aware. This part of the practice is called the accomplishment stage, and it's simply taking all the activity of the texts, words, physical activity, imagination, we call visualizing, taking all of that to heart and creating this heart-mind as the energy field of your personal Buddha world. And the result of this connects with the deity Chenrezig or Tara or whatever many of the many deities that we use in Tibetan Buddhists for mind training as the loving kindness and compassion aspect of the practice. Because you're bringing your body, speech, and mind out of compassionate concern for the pain and suffering of infinite sentient beings. As your family, as your mother. Quickly dedicate the merit that the results of whatever you just performed be to the benefit of all beings. Then you move to the second part of the practice, which is called Vajrasattva. Now, Vajrasattva is a practice of the Bodhisattva mind training tradition to eliminate obstacles to these sutra and tantric practices, giving you quick results. In sutra, the results come fast. In tantra, way faster. But no hurry. Future, no end in sight. Past, can't find a beginning. Present, doesn't exist. So relax. When you start to do the Vajrasattva practice, know that you are purifying all the obstacles of all your past lives up to this time that would present you any obstruction to your spiritual development. So when you do the Vajrasattva practice, you learn the 100-syllable mantra, and you bring Chenrezig in to the energy field of Avalokiteshvara, which is the Buddha of no separation. everything is interconnected. And with the full realization of that, you gain ultimate awareness and Buddhahood. There are 4 other Buddha fields, but this one has to be realized through practice. So Vajrasattva has Avalokiteshvara, the Buddha of Interconnectedness, which is the Buddha in the center of our shrine, with the earth-touching gesture, similar to Shakyamuni Buddha, left hand in the lap, right hand, palm resting on the right knee. And when you use the Buddha image, that's the ultimate state of awareness. That's the highest intelligence for a human to acquire. Then the practice is to bring the deity Chenrezig and Tara, which are the 2 male-female symbols of all the peaceful and protector deities, above your head. And you start with 2 sounds, the sound of Mom and Hum. Hum is ultimate healing. Mom is the energy of everything being your mother. And I mean everything, every particle, every sun, every moon, every planet, every galaxy, everything that exists, every one that exists. So that becomes the Tara, mother principle. Then these 2 are bodhisattvas. This is Bodhisattva training school. So this would be the first sutra tantric deity yoga practice. And it is extraordinary because all the practices evolve from this. Then when you see these 2, the Mom and the Hum connects all the outer supports, however they exist, however your karma is connecting to Dharma. And once you have them situated, then you extend that. The purpose of this is to all sentient beings, whatever you're accomplishing, they're accomplishing. That causes the 100-syllable mantra to appear out of devotion and respect to your Llama, teacher, and the lineage. It turns connecting the 2 deities, or if you're just using Vajrasattva, circling the Hum in Vajrasattva's heart, either way is okay. Then the energy of that comes down into the opening of the Uma channel towards the back of your head, down the central channel of your life force, and each energy center of the body fills with the light bliss energy of the deity. And as this takes place, all the negative tendencies you've been putting into your body since birth and previous lives, those that have come forms that are harmful to this life, all pour out of your body through the orifices and eyes. You visualize that like sludge, or however you think. And all that sluices off the body down into the earth and becomes nectar to the sentient beings that live in the earth. The main ones, spirits, are called nagas, but there's many types of animals and spirits that live in the earth. And all of those, all the way through the earth, receive this nectar from your purifying. And as you do this visualization, you say the 100-syllable mantra out loud. And you see it turning up here, and the energy of it and the deity's energy all coming through you, purifying your situation. Goes like this. Om Vajrasattva Samaya Manupalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Dikta Drito Me Bawa Suto Kayo Me Bawa Supo Kayo Me Bawa Anurakto Me Bawa Sarvar Siddhi Mantra Yasa Sarvar Karma Sutra Me System Sriyam Kuru Om Om Bhagawan Sarvar Tathagata Vajra Mame Musa, Vajra Bhava, Mahasamaya Sattva. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jito Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarwar Siddhi Memchayasa Sarwar Karma Sutsame Sitsam Sriyam Kuru Ho Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarwar Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamaya Sattva Ah. You end with ah. Ah is the sound of energy. Energy has three aspects: physical, mental, and emotional. And it has one result: spiritual. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Samaya Manopalaya Vajrasattva Denopa Tikta Jito Mebawa Suto Kayo Mebawa Supo Kayo Mebawa Anurakta Mebawa Sarvar Siddhi Memchayasa Sarvar Karma Sutsame Sitsam Sriyam Kuru Hom Ha 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 Ho Bhagawan Sarvar Tata Gata Vajramame Mutsa Vajrabhava Mahasamya Sattva Om. Then you become the deity. But say at least 3 times. Once for your body, once for your speech, once for your mind. Get this into your practice mindset that those 3 become the Sambhogakaya, Dharmakaya, and Nirmanakaya of the ultimate realization of shamanistic Tibetan Buddhism. And they are the Om, Ah, and Hum, white, red, and blue, that applies to all 3 in whatever practice you're doing. So if you do 3, 7, 21, 108 recitations of this mantra, then you become the deity. This is the first tantric union process in Tibetan Buddhism. Either just Vajrasattva or Vajrasattva and Vajrayogini in union. And you think that all sentient beings in the universe are in this state, equal, same as you, equal to you. This causes the short heart mantra to appear circling through the heart centers of these 2 deities. You are these 2. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Mam Hum. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Mam Hum. Om Vajrayogini Vajrasattva Mam Hum. So you say that the short mantra as many times as you said the long mantra in practice. Then all sentient beings dissolve into you, just like you did with the end of the prostration practice. They were all doing the prostrations with you, then they all dissolve into you, then you dissolve into the Hum. The Hum is the main seed syllable of relative and ultimate healing in Tibetan Buddhism, and it symbolizes in the Dharmakaya nature, the all-pervasive nature of your mind, infinite interconnectedness, that there is no such thing as separation. Infinite butterfly effect. Some of you know what that means. What goes on in one place happens everywhere. So this is the Hum. Learn this symbol, learn to draw it. This particular one has the Medicine Buddha mantra surrounding it. And that's what Tibetan Buddhism is all about. Healing. Physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. all the 5 elements of the outer world come together with these 5 states of inner development awareness called your natural mind. And when this is fully experienced and realized, that's it. You can be happy timelessly. That's a good perk. At the end of the Vajrasattva session, it says, now all harmful actions, obscurations of minds, faults, and transgressions of the 3 kayas are removed and purified. Then the deity as my Lama, Dorje Sempa, assures me that I am purified, melts into light, and absorbed to me. In this state of interconnectedness, we become indivisible, like space. Relax in that ultimate nature of your mind. Simply disappear into space. You as the deity dissolve into the home in your heart. It in a 5-colored sphere of light contracts to a tiny particle of light which merges with the infinite light of space. That's how it works. It can happen all at once, like we just did it, or slowly, like I just said it. When you're in this position, your natural mind is being contemplated. And it is simply a state of bringing your awareness to the infinite present, this timeless moment, and relax. And like before, let all your thoughts arise, do whatever, disappear. All your physical sensations arise, disappear. Do not connect to any of that. Do not let your drama mind carry you away. Just be present. Past is gone. Future hasn't happened. This is it. Of that clock. At the end of this aspect of practice we call the contemplation stage of practice, then you move to the next stage of the practice, which is making offerings. Now in shamanism, this goes on continually. The first of your offerings in these practices is your body, speech, and mind. Doing the prostrations with all sentient beings as the purpose and as the accompaniment. The same with the Vajrasattva practice, purifying so that your obstacles to the results of your practice come fast, the perks. The third part of the practice is intensifying the offering part of the practice to include everything. And this is called the ultimate Mandala practice. Now, I want you to understand that ultimate in Tibetan means unlimited. And the way to sum this up, of what this part of this is the third extraordinary practice, is that the basis of the foundation of the purification practice make this offering to one's Lama Guru, lineage, and to Shakyamuni Buddha. Because all of that together has resulted in you in this life having the opportunity to realize your non-judgmental mind, your true nature. Realize through Bodhisattva training the nature of mind and how to use it effectively. So this offering is to accomplish that. And what it includes is all the best of all the heavenly realms. We say gods and goddesses. And all the best of all the human conditions, wherever they exist, everywhere in the universe, wherever humans are. As an offering to your root Lama and all the Lamas of all the lineages who are part of your support. And when you offer this, it's an infinite proportion. And your root Lama is the first recipient as Vajradhara, which was the center figure of the Refuge tree. Then from that to all the Lamas, teachers, men and women of all the traditions of Buddhism, and especially Tibetan Buddhism. And so this mandala offering has many aspects. But like the kata, which symbolizes good fortune, or setting up special situations for others to become healthy and realize, I'm going to read the text. It goes like this. In front of me, in the middle of the sky, is the root Lama. In front of him, to his right, behind, left and right, and above, in an inseparable area, are all of the Lamas, Yidams, and Buddhas. And then around them are all the Dharma and Sangha, each with a retinue of their own kind of countless members. Around the edge of the Lama's throne is an ocean of protectors. These are the protector deities or Yidams of all rare and sublime jewels called Buddhas. All of these are holy and excellent fields of accumulation of merit, virtuous activity, and lasting happiness. Then we take in hand the offering mandala plate and wipe it clean. So at this point, by the way, this was on the shrine. This is a mandala plate. This is the symbol of the whole universe, this golden plate, this base. This is the symbol of your body. This is the symbol of your speech. This is the symbol of your mind. This is the symbol of the ultimate realization that all of these are connected and everything inside is an offering. So inside is rice. This is the Dharma Wheel, 8-spoke Dharma Wheel, which is the state of the highest intelligence accomplishments available in the human condition. So we take this off. This symbolizes where we're going with it. Then we take this plate, and I have a cloth in my lap. And I dump the whole plate with all the rice and everything in my lap. Then I remove the mandala plate and set it to one side. And each of these 3 rings to the other side. Then I start to make the mandala offering. First, I purify it with my hands closed and the wrists touching the outer rim. Om Vajrasattva Samaya, Manopalaya, Vajrasattva Denopa, Tikta Jito Mebawa, Sutokayo Mebawa, Supokayo Mebawa, Anorakto Mebawa, Sarva Siddhi Mantoyasa, Sarva Karma Susume, System Triyam Kuru Hom, Ha Ho Bhagawan, Sarva Tathagata, Vajramami, Vajrabhava Samaya Sattva All. So now I've purified the base, which is the ground of the universe, which is boundless. So that's what this symbolizes. And all the beings in it are doing this mandala offering with me. Then I read the text. Om Vajra Bhumi Ahum. So Vajra Bhumi means we bless this base and purify it as solid gold. Everything like gold, precious, sacred, the whole universe, and every particle in it. So that's the Om Vajra Bhumi Ahum. Then we say, this base, the foundation like gold, powerful and completely pure, now becomes this universe of sentient beings. Om Vajra Reiki Ahum. At that point, we visualize that the entire universe of our Dharma world is surrounded by iron mountains, completely enclosed. So all of the energy of that is what we are purifying, all the negativity of the drama world. Outside, boundless space. The mother principle, the standard of every Buddha field. Then once you have that, then we include the 60 aspects of what we are offering. In the center is the King of Mountains, Mount Meru, which is the home of all the gods and goddesses and demigods. Then to the east is Lopepo. Now we're saying to the east is all the human outer world. Then to the west, all the human worlds in that direction. Then to the north, all the human worlds in that direction. To the south, all the human worlds in that direction. So then we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Each one of those directions. Then everything precious, like the 60 kinds of precious offerings, precious sources, precious advisors, inexhaustible treasures, the goddess of laughter, the goddess of nectar, the goddess of song, the goddess of dance, the goddess of flower, the goddesses of perfume and water, and then completely lit with the sun and moon. All of this, including the banner of victory in every direction, a gathering of all the sublime possessions of gods, men and women with nothing lacking, all the best of humans with nothing lacking. All of this I offer to the Lamas, Yidams, Buddhas, and Bodhisattvas, Dakinis, Dakinis, protectors, guardians of all the retinues of the Dharma, clearly ranged and overflowing in numbers greater than all the drops in a boundless ocean. Through your compassion, please accept this for the benefit of all sentient beings, my mothers. Having accepted this, grant all of your blessings and accomplishment. This base is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain, the four continents, the sun and the moon. Through all of these imagined offerings, infinite in number, the best of everything. Excuse me, I have to turn the tap. To the Lama Guru, may I now encounter any obstacles on the path to enlightenment and realize the mind of transcendent awareness of all the Buddhas of the three times, not being deluded by existence, nor remaining in tranquility. May I liberate all beings limitless as space. And once you have said that, then you place the Dharma Wheel on top of these three, and then give me the plate. Then put it on top. Then you place this on the plate. Now this, once it's completed at the end of your session, goes on the shrine, if you have a shrine, which is where I got it. Now some people would use the rice and they actually color it with saffron water, yellow, so it all looks gold. Some of them put precious jewels and other precious substances in the rice and so forth, but this is as simple as you can do it. Now this mandala offering is performed like I just did it 111,000 times. Right, Abby? What is the result?
Extremely.
What is the result for you, a mandala offering?
Extremely good karma.
Abby says extremely good karma, which is called the wish-fulfilling gem. Now, extremely good karma to some people is all the worldly stuff, you know, like nice relationships, jobs, plenty of money, wealth, good health, all of that. But that is not the purpose of the mandala practice. The purpose of the mandala practice is to purify in your mind that everything you do, whatever you are acquiring or whatever good benefits you are experiencing, all of that continually offer outward to the benefit of all sentient beings. It's like somebody gives you a bar of gold You take it. Thank you very much. Good karma for them. Put it in your right hand and pass it on. Ooh. That's a stretch.
Someone has a question. Can
Yeah.
you show how to do the offering without a mandala offering plate?
Yes. Now that's the next part of it.
Okay.
Now, once you've done this major mandala, the 3-tiered mandala, then you hold it in your right hand, take off the thing, again dump it, gather the 3 rings, and do the short mandala offering. Zaji Pocho Jing Meito John Riva Bling Jing Negi Genpati Zangi Jing to Mikti Po Ali Joku Nanam Jing Macho Basho O Mandala Puja Me Gasa Puja Saparan Samaye Hong So Ha Zaji Pocho Jing Meito John Riva Bling Jing Genpati Zangi Jing to Mikti Po Ali Joku Nanam Jing Macho Basho O Mandala Puja Me Gasa Puja Saparan Samaye Hong So Ha Zaji Posho Shin Meito John Riwa Jing Negi Genpati Zangi Jing to Mikti Po Ali Shoku Nanda Jingo Choko Shogo Mandala Puja Me Gasa Puja Saparana Samaye Ahong Soha. Or you can say it, that was Tibetan.
Say the
I just did 3 short mandala offerings. And what you do is you take the mandala plate, it could be a dish, you don't have to have one of these. You can get these from any Dharma center. I got these from Lama Tempa, our Dharma center in Honolulu.
You can use any special plate. Or not
Yeah,
even
any clean plate. And you can use the plate this way or this way. And you say, I visualize this world and bless it by making offerings of incense, flour, and water. In the middle is Mount Meru and the 4 continents. So when you say that, you put some in the middle and then each of the 4 directions. Then filling this with the light of the sun and moon, which is the upper left and lower right, you've now hit the center, 4 directions, upper left and lower right of this plate. That's the 7-position mandala. You're offering the very best of gods and goddesses, men and women, to the lineage lamas, to the benefit of all sentient beings. And when you're doing this, all sentient beings are making this mandala offering with you. They're either all doing it independently together with you, or however you can visualize that. Then you dump it.
So how many points are there on the
Okay,
plate?
so first of all, you're blessing it by blessing it with flowers, incense, and water. So that's the center. Visualizing Mount Meru, which is the realm of the gods and goddesses, of the demigods and worldly gods. Okay? Then all the humans in the 4 directions. So that's east, south, west, and north. Then with the light of the sun and the moon, sun's upper left, moon's lower right.
So that's 7 points.
So that's 7-point mandala offering. Not the 60-point one that the text says. That's the one you make over and over continually. And then if you say it in Tibetan, it goes like this. Zaji Fochu Shing Meito Chan Riva Vinji Nega Mendai Dangi Jinga Mingte Powayi Joku Nam Danjing Macho Power Show. O Mandala Puja Me Gasa Puja Saparana Samaye Ah Om So Ha. That last part means that this goes out to all lamas, deities, and protectors, to the benefit of all the 6 realms of sentient beings. That's Om Mandala Puja Me Gasa Puja Saparana Samaye Ahum Soha. You have to memorize that one. Om Mandala Puja Me Gasa Muja Saparana Samaye Ahum Soha. So I do Mount Meru, then east, south, west, north, sun, and moon. All the best of gods and goddesses I offer to the Buddha, Dharma, Sangha, Lama, deities, and Dharma protectors. Om Mandala Puja Me Gasa Muja Saparana Samaye Ahom Soha. And when you're making this 7-point mandala, you think that all sentient beings are doing it with you. They're all making mandala offerings with you. And the mandala offering is for their benefit. So that way, in your mind, everything is interconnected. Again, we're in the Buddha field of Avalokiteshvara, no separation.
Can you say the shortened prayer in English?
Yeah, I'm going to read it from the text. But I said it, I memorized it because that's how we did it in retreat. This base is sprinkled with scented water and strewn with flowers, adorned with the supreme mountain and the 4 continents, starting east, south, west, and north, and then a sun and a moon. Through this mandala offering, through these mandala offerings, because you're imagining this to be infinite, all of this is offered to the Buddha fields. May all beings enjoy the completely pure lands. So that's the short prayer. Then once you've done however many of these short mandala offerings, then you finish by dedicating the merit to all sentient beings. In the text it says, all of this offered to the assembly of lamas who have completely attained the 3 bodies. I make offerings outwardly, inwardly, secretly, and ultimately. In accepting my body, possessions, and all phenomena, grant me the inseparable supreme accomplishment of the realization of Mahamudra. With this great realization, may all the virtuous activities that I have been able to accumulate, such as making prostrations, doing purification of Vajrasattva, making offerings, openly admitting faults, reciting, beseeching, praying, and requesting, I dedicate all of this to the full and perfect enlightenment of myself and all beings. Having offered all my possessions and those of countless others as limitless as space, may all beings completely become filled with the 2 accumulations of merit and insight. And this field of accumulation melts into light, and we all become the same essence as light and space. Then you move into the accomplishment stage of the practice and contemplate the infinite light of space only as the nature of everything you've offered. So you're contemplating voidness, Mahamudra. No subject, object, no judgment, good, bad, high, low, no not knowing, that's all gone. Just relax, be present in the infinite light and space of your natural mind. Bliss. And when you get all through, you take this cloth, which was in your lap, make sure it's a big one, collect all the rice into the middle, and reuse it to make your next full mandala plate offering in your next session. This is the completion of the third of the 4 extraordinary practices of Nungro or Guru Yoga. And each of these 3 that we have just done is to be performed 111,111 times. In and out of the 40-month retreat. Then you dedicate the merit of this practice of mandala offerings to the benefit of all sentient beings, your mothers, that they all together gain full realization of their true nature and how to use it. Now, another purpose of making offerings is the good karma. Because this offering is going to the spirit world. This offering is going to all the animal and human worlds throughout the universe. And the benefit of that is infinitely incalculable. In other words, no limit. You got to start getting used to this other nature of your mind that is limitless, omnipresent, is all-pervasive, Dharmakaya. This is the mind of the Lama Guru, inside and outside. This is Vajradhara, Vajradharani, Kunto Zangpo, Kunto Zangmo. Then, since all of this is Guru Yoga, inseparable from the deities and all the lamas, men and women of all the lineages, past, present, and future, all are appropriate, then all of that is the Guru Yoga section of the prayer, focused to your Guru Llama, which represents all your teachers. Personally, I have over 100, so that's a nice retinue. And they have my back. And they expect me to take care of my front. So this is the front. And there you are. So this is the 4th extraordinary practice called Guru Yoga. I'm going to read it. On the crown of my head, on a lotus sun and moon seed, is my kind Root Lama, the powerful Dorje Chong, Vajradhara Kundozangpo, wearing the ornaments of the Sambhogakaya, bliss energy of the deity, all the deities, holding a Vajra and bell in the mudra of union. And in the union, he has his dakini, and behind the back of the dakini, the Vajra and bell, and the union is with the splendid of space, the ultimate dakini, the ultimate mother element. So that's how you start the visualization. He represents the lamas of all the lineage, especially the Kagyu lineage of Tibetan Buddhism. That's our lineage. And also the Shangpa Kagyu lineage. That's Kala Rinpoche. The other is Karmapa, called the Karma Katsang. And all the ocean of rare and sublime jewels of all the Buddhas and teachers. All of these gathered around him in countless numbers. Pervading Lord, you are the true nature of all phenomena, which is like space. Without location, devoid of coming and going, without the characteristics of arriving and departing, always present, like the moon's reflection in water, you appear wherever you are visualized. Conqueror of all forces of negativity, Gloria Seruka. To the lamas, yidams, dakinis, and their retinues, I now pray with faith and trust. And through the power of your compassion, which is without any discrimination or judgment, please appear here clearly, like they did in the Refuge tree. Arising from the citadel of the absolute Dharma realm, you are the very essence of all the Buddhas of the 3 times and 10 directions. You show me that my mind is truly the Dharmakaya. Glorious and Holy Lama, I offer my respect to you. I make offerings of my body, wealth, and all things imaginable, and offer this in praise to you. I confess all harmful actions previously committed and will not repeat them in the future. I rejoice in the virtuous activity of all beings, including the lamas, and dedicate the merit of all this for the cause of supreme enlightenment and realization. I pray that you not pass into nirvanic states, but I urge you to remain in this world and turn the wheel of the insurpassable sublime vehicle of Mahamudra. Just as the Buddhas and Bodhisattvas have trained themselves in love and impartial compassion, and gained the realization of the absolute spontaneously arising knowledge, please grant me this blessing that I may realize the illusory body to be the Nirmanakaya, equal to your representation. Grant me your blessing that I may realize all vital forces to be the Sambhogakaya, the deities of bliss and energy. Grant me your blessing that I may realize my own mind to be all Dharmakaya, unlimited and all-pervasive. Grant your blessing so that these 3 bodies arise inseparably through practice. Then we sound the Mahamudra transmission lineage, starting with Dorje Chang, our own true nature, then the Buddha Shakyamuni, then all the lords of this Dharma lineage of the Mahamudra tradition, of which there are 12 lineages. All of these collected together, and there's about 20 names here that you call, resulting in my root Lama Kala Rinpoche and my secondary root Lama Karmapa. Grant me on all of you, I pray, grant to me spontaneously arising knowledge and realization. So once you've taken all of these lineage masters and said that prayer to grant spontaneously arising knowledge and realization, then you collect all this again into your root Llama. So I'm going to skip about 4 pages of teachers' names, lineage master's name, down to my present root Llama, who is Lama Rinchen in Honolulu, representing Kala Rinpoche, and Lama Tempa, representing Karmapa, and so forth. All of you together become the foundation of the path and result, which is Mahamudra. Kind one who points out my true nature to be exactly this, root Lama, who is truly all Buddhas in one, I pray to you, grant me absolute spontaneously knowledge and realization. Assembly of all the idioms who grant the 2 accomplishments of merit for myself and others, all the assembly of Dharma protectors, guardians, dakinis, lords of all Buddha activity and goddesses, as well as the assembly of the vast ocean of all those who follow the Buddhist instructions and teaching, all of this are bound by the commitment called samaya. I pray to you, grant me absolute, spontaneously arising knowledge, without removing or adding, without rejecting or accepting anything in samsara nirvana, devoid of everything arising or non-existing, yet the foundation of all things is the ultimate nature of mind, the basis of Mahamudra. Through the blessing of this prayer may all be realized. Then the actual practice of the Guru Yoga is to say what they call the 4-line prayer, the Four Monoms. And they go like this. This is what you do in Guru Yoga 111,000 times. First in Tibetan. Madang, Kadang, Yampe, Semchim, Tamche, Lama, Rinpoche, Laso, Wadeb, So. So that's the first one. The second one. Madang, Kadang, Yampe, Semchim, Lama, Kubchap, Kubki, Kula, So, Wadeb, So. That's the second one. Number 3. Madang, Kadang, Yampe, Semchim, Tamche, Lama, Dakshin, Lukshu, Dzogpe, Kula, So, Wadeb, So. And now number 4. Madang, Kadang, Yampe, Semchim, Tamche, Lama, Chukne, Chuke, Puku, La, So, Wadeb, So. And if you say those 4, like I just said them in Tibetan, or in English, may all beings, limits of space, who have been our mothers, I pray to you, Lama, precious Buddha. With all beings, my mothers, limitless space, I pray to you, the Lama, the all-pervading Dharmakaya. With all beings in limitless space who have been my mothers, I pray to the Lama, the great bliss of the Sambhogakaya. With all beings, limitless space who have been my mothers, I pray to the Lama, the compassion of the Guru, teacher, the Nirmanakaya, of loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight. Then you say the name of your teachers with Chenno. Chenno means that they have their body, speech, and mind together with loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight as their method. So if I say Karmapa, Lama Karmapa Chenno, Lama Karmapa Chenno, Karmapa Chenno, Kala Rinpoche Chenno, Kala Rinpoche Chenno, Kala Rinpoche Chenno, Lama Rinchen Chenno, Lama Rinchen Chenno, Lama Rinchen Chenno, Lama Tenzin Chenno, Lama Tenzin Chenno, Lama Tenzin Chenno, Dalai Lama Chenno, Dalai Lama Chenno, Dalai Lama Chenno. So you can say either just your root Lama over and over, or you can say the names of your many teachers who are giving you the transmissions of the Dharma deity yoga practices and Nungdro. So those two together, the four-line prayer called the Four Monoms, either in English or Tibetan, 111,000 times, with sounding the names of the teachers with Chen No, means No Wo Net Ki Ku, which means loving kindness, compassion, power, and insight of the body, speech, and mind in union, all together. Every teacher is like that. That's Chen No. I'll say it one more time. Marakaraya Perception Lama Rinpoche Lazo Adepso Marakaraya Perception Lama Kuchap Chukiku Lazo Adepso Marakaraya Perception Chapche Chukiku Lazo Adepso Nana Nagoyam Perception Longe Zupe Kula So Adepso Marakaraya Perception Lama Chupe Kula So Adepso Karma Pachano Karma Pachano Karma Pachano Karma Pachano Color reputation, no color reputation, no color reputation, no color reputation, no. Like that. Then at the end of the session of saying that four-line prayer many, many times, and your gurus that are giving you the teachings with Chenno many times, then you sit in voidness. Dissolve all the words. Take them all to heart, into your heart center, into the home. Expand out to the totality of space, or contract it to a point of light, or just simply disappear into the natural mind with no judgment. Non-judgmental mind. Maha Mudra. What time is it? Huh? 15 minutes on? Then once you come out of the second stage of Maha Mudra, contemplating space, or however you do that, just allowing your thoughts and sensual perceptions to arise and disappear in the present moment, obtaining a space beyond all spiritual accomplishment called bliss. Then you finish the practice of the Guru Yoga with this prayer. Lama, grant your blessing so that my mind give up all ego clinging, all subject-object dichotomy. Grant your blessing so that contentment may arise in my stream of being. Grant your blessing to abandon all forms of neediness. Grant your blessing so that non-dharmic thoughts or negative tendencies cease. Grant your blessing so that my mind be realized as the unborn and nature as an illusion and may be pacified in itself. Grant your blessing so that phenomena may be realized as the Dharmakaya, the all-pervasive nature of mind and everything in harmony. Glorious and holy lamas, bestow on me the four empowerments that mature, the body, speech, and mind, and all three together, in union with your mind. Grant your blessing that the four streams of my being quickly mature. Grant me the accomplishment of the four types of Buddha activity. Actually, there are 5. Pacifying, enriching, attaching, destroying, and subjugating. Having prayed in this way, the assembly melts into light and absorbs into the main figure of the root Lama in front. May his or her nature be the union of all the rare and sublime ones and appear truly and clearly wherever I place them. Then from the Lama's foreheads, beams of white light radiate. They absorbed into my forehead, purify the obscurations of my body. I now receive the base initiation, the empowerment to meditate on the development stage and become the fortunate one who attains its result as the deity, called the Nirmanakaya, or teacher. From his throat, red beams of light radiate. They are absorbed into my throat, purifying the obscurations of speech. I now receive the secret initiation, the power to meditate on the nadis and prana pervading my body. 84,000 channels. May I become a fortunate one who attain the result of the Sambhogakaya, of bliss energy of all of the peaceful and protector deities and Dakini. From his heart, beams of blue light radiate. They are absorbed into my heart, puring the obscurations of the mind. I receive the initiation of the supreme and transcendent knowledge and the empowerment to meditate on the union, and I become a fortunate one who attains as a result the Dharmakaya. Then from the 3 places simultaneously, white, red, blue light radiated to my 3 places. As they are absorbed, my 3 doors of activity are purified. I now receive the 4th empowerment to meditate on Mahamudra, the supreme state of union of one's mind with the phenomenal world in harmony. I become a fortunate one who will attain its result, this Vajrasattva. Then as the Lama dissolves into light into me, my body, speech, and mind and the Lama's 3 Vajras of body, speech, and mind are inseparable. And becoming one essence, I now gain the realization of the spontaneously liberated state of highest realization and awareness. Such are the 4 extraordinary preliminary practices. Kewa di nurdu da, chagya champo jugir name, chowa chinking malu pa, te sala go parsho, sanjay kuso nempai jim la dong, choni megar dempai jim la dong, gendu miche dumpai jim la ki, shitar goma mo nam tu parsho. Through this virtue I pray that all beings without exception experience the undying state of permanent bliss by merging supreme knowledge, realization, and method, and come to realize the nature of the Lut Rama Dorje Sampa. Dedicating this merit, may all sentient beings attain Buddhahood. By this virtue of having realized Mahamudra, may I quickly establish all beings without a single exception in this state. The blessings of Buddha obtain the 3 bodies, and the blessings of the unchanging truth of the Dharma, and the blessing of the unwavering aspirations of the Sangha, may this dedication prayer be fulfilled. May virtue flow from this practice to all beings who see, hear, recite, or touch it. May they all be born in the pure lands of great bliss and have the Karma Kagyu give supreme teachings. May they all rise in splendor and spread far and wide and become the adornment of this world. May they spread to all the four corners of the world. Moreover, may I assume the great responsibility of the Karma Kagyu lineage and the non-sectarian approach to the teachings. Through this vast influence of these activities, explaining, studying, and practicing the Dharma, may all beings, living beings, be brought to true and lasting happiness. May all the Lamas have long life, good health, happiness, and prosperity. May all their wishes be fulfilled. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free of suffering and pain. May all beings establish in bliss and equanimity, releasing all attachment, aversion, pride, jealousy, and stupidity, bewilderment, and ignorance. Duchiche. Thank you. Mahalo.